Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for the City of Saratoga Springs, Tuesday, March 29th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Present tonight, we have Councilman Carn, Councilman Porter, Councilman Wilden, Councilman McComber, Councilman Podeska is excused. Councilman Carn, will you lead us in our invocation, and Councilman Porter in our pledge?
Sure.
Our Father in heaven, we are grateful to be gathered here as leaders of this city to make decisions that will impact our residents and future residents. Father, we're grateful for the opportunity we have to serve the people around us, and ask that as we deliberate different items that we will be guided and led and inspired to make proper choices. Father, these things we ask for in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, amen.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah. Okay, public input. Time has been set aside for the public to express ideas, concerns, or comments not listed on this subject matter. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anybody? Okay. Seeing no comments, anything submitted online from our YouTube viewers? Oh, that's right. Okay. And I will close the public input. Business items, Foothill Boulevard Extension Award of Bid Resolution R 2022-18.
Mayor and Council, I am pleased to bring to you a recommendation for award of bid for our long-planned Foothill Boulevard Extension project. As you can see in the staff report, we had a very successful bid. We received 6 bids. The low bid was about $18 million, and the high bid was almost $23 million. So about $5 million savings going to the low bid there. The low bidder was Red Pine Construction. They are a local outfit out of Lehi, Utah. I actually called several of their references just to know who we were dealing with because we've not had a contract with them before. And every single one of the references gave just a glowing, outstanding review. Said they were an amazing group to work for, and so we're excited. So with that, we would recommend that you award contract to Red Pine Construction in the amount of in the amount of $18 million, $20,207.20.
That's including all of the add-ons.
Yes, all of the.
Can you review what the add-ons mean?
Sure.
Jeremy, thank you for making a phone call to check references. We've had roads in the past. I knew you were thinking it.
Just on that topic, I know we want to get to what the alts are, but when you add, have they done similar scope work? I mean, it's great if they have great references, but if
The size project?
if they've only ever done like a 2-lane road 100 feet long, that's not, this is a big project.
They've never, as far as I can tell, this is probably one of the bigger projects they've done. They've done
Public contracts.
public contracts. They've done, I talked to them, they do probably $30 to $50 million worth of construction work annually.
Okay.
They do majority of their work in the private industry, so they are doing a lot of work for developers in American Fork. And American Fork gave them, the American Fork staff, which has, they have to oversee them, gave glowing.
Okay, that's fine. They're big enough to handle a job this big. That's my.
Everything I can tell, yes.
And when we look at their subs, I mean, they've got, big name subs that are helping with the project. So we think it's a good bid. I wanted to point out just a couple of items first, and then I'll let Jeremy get back to the bid alts. Because of the nature of today's financial market, there are some things that are a little bit different. Like, for example, we had to put an inflation factor in for the cost of oil and fuel and things like that. But it goes both ways. So right now, we're bidding right at what we hope is the peak of some of these oil prices and gas prices. I'm not calling a no-hitter because who knows which direction it goes. But theoretically, a year from now, when they're starting to put asphalt down, it could be down, which means it would be a deductive change order. There are some items that, once we award the bid, they're going to be locking in prices, doing the best to lock in prices, but some of those prices might have variable asterisks next to them saying, this is our cost as of today. When we deliver this item to you, there may be some impact. So again, it's the best that we've got from a ability to project these things. It is a big project, and we anticipate probably, when would it be completed? August of next summer?
So there's two sections. So they do have to finish the work north of Pony by this fall.
And
So-
before school starts.
Yeah,
Yes,
actually,
that's,
it's probably good to put it on public record, although I know Annalise is going to push it out there. So there's three main things they're doing to alleviate congestion that have nothing to do with the new road. Number one is we're adding dual northbound lanes from Pony Express to Marie Way. Right now, you only have one, so that basically doubles the capacity of that road section. Now, that second northbound lane drops at Marie Way and becomes a right turn lane. For southbound traffic, we have dual rights turning west to Eagle Mountain. So that allows that to clear out a lot faster.
that's gonna be huge.
And the third thing is for eastbound traffic, we have dual lefts, right? So now that we have two lanes going north, we can actually take that eastbound traffic and do dual lefts. So those are the three biggest things we're doing right now
And that's this summer.
and that all has to be done by August of this.
And in addition to that, when we're working on that intersection, we're going to also be pulling the water lines underneath it. Again, we'll be
Opening it.
restoring that hopefully over the summer months where it's not going to impact school. And ultimately, we didn't allow for any full-time closures. We notified them of the weeks that, splash is happening. I mean, we've given them other information so that we could try and make it as less impactful as possible, or at least impactful as possible. However, we do have that first deadline, which is, I think, 2 weeks before school starts
Yeah.
in August. So again, a little bit of a buffer, but trying to get that segment done. And then the second part to this project is really from Pony South to Lariat, and they have until the end of next
A
summer.
year later.
Okay.
So yeah, so the remainder
So
of the
is that
project.
going to be done in two sections? You said there's three parts.
Well, I said there was three improvements we were doing to improve.
Okay.
That was the
All
things
right.
I listed.
So the Pony to Lariat is just
The-
one piece.
The deadlines is two.
But the Pony to Lariat, they're going to start moving dirt and things.
They'll start excavating, they'll start doing other
Right.
things, but as far as that pavement.
They'll lay
section,
asphalt
That
next.
pavement won't happen,
They'll lay
so-
asphalt next spring.
Yeah, so again, this summer, we might still see, pretty high asphalt costs. And if there's
There's a lot of earthwork.
yeah.
There's a lot of earthwork
Yeah.
on that.
And a lot of that earthwork gets spoiled up in the Sitla pits. And so.
One thing we did to not only save money, but reduce impacts on neighborhoods is we partnered with Sitla. They need that material because they want to fill in some of those pits and prepare the property for development. So they like all this material. So that only saves us money, but that reduces all that truck traffic that would
Right.
actually be hauling that off.
That's all.
And it's closing some pits.
So going back to Chris' questions, what are the bid alts? One of the bid alts is at the completion of the project, we're going to repave Grandview Boulevard. Basically Redwood Road to the top of Grandview
that needs it.
Boulevard.
Okay.
So that's one of those. That's going to be paid for out of our pavement management fund, not necessarily, it's a capital project, but that's a maintenance project. It's not an impact fee related
Separate
project.
funding source.
The other project, one of the other projects is about $220,000 to finish the park up right there on the corner of Rocky Ridge. That little triangular piece of park that's going to be between Foothill and.
Let me
Sorry.
Let me
That-
clarify. It's the trail segment.
It's right now, yeah.
So when we build this road, we are building the platform for the trail, but the trail is the responsibility of the developers on the east side to build the trail. However, we have an existing subdivision, Land Rock. So we are going to build the trail and do the landscaping on that component because that's an existing condition. We don't want to leave a gap in our trail system.
Fantastic.
So that was adult number. So number 4 was Grandview. Number 3 was the trail landscaping by Land Rock, so that gap.
And it's Land Rock, not Rocky Ridge, I apologize.
Adult number 2 was the one I discussed. That was extending that northbound lane to Marie Way so that we have that expressy.
Yep.
And adult number 1 was a right turn eastbound to
sure.
Pony to southbound Foothill.
Okay.
So that doesn't help existing conditions, but that makes sure that if you're heading eastbound and you want to turn south onto this new road, instead of being in the travel lane, you'll have a separate right turn.
Oh, okay.
So again, all of
No
those,
chance of any asphalt opening in this construction year.
On
Talked about
South
Pony
Express.
South of
talked
Pony,
about
no.
Lariat to Grandview maybe or something. We're not looking at that.
No.
All at once.
We're talking a lot of earthwork going up that hill. The other part that I think is important to point out, we know that there's a lot of people that want us to do a lot of fixes on 800 West north of Marie Way.
Yep.
We do have some projects that we're working on. They're not part of this bid. We're going to continue to try and relieve some of those congestion issues and things. The sidewalk from, Sierra Estates down, to 800 and then across where the crossing guard is. We're working on all those things, continue to progress, but they are not part of this bid. And our desire to get this project out to bid, we didn't want to wait and add more things since the scope of this was already,
And
but
we
we
have-
can always add them as
Are we
potential.
renaming it Foothill Boulevard officially with?
Well, I was going to talk.
That's your decision to make.
I've talked with council, some of the council, most of the council.
Not me.
I mean,
You were at the police luncheon. We talked about it then.
Oh, I wasn't. I was eating, I
Oh,
guess.
sorry.
I did leave early, remember?
Oh, maybe that was it. And I talked to Ryan, but I would really like to rename Foothill. You did because you wanted to, anyway, you were there. But I would like to explore renaming the whole system, the whole corridor, the roads in our city to like Mountain View Parkway or something so that it is tied to.
Yes.
Yeah, see, I knew you.
But there's consistency.
So there's consistency across the entire city, and so that people who move in next to Mountain View Parkway know
it's part
that
of
the
it.
Mountain View corridor is going through there, and they're not surprised by it. I mean, Foothill was basically just a name that was thrown up 10 years ago, as off of some naming list, I'm guessing. I don't know that there was any great meaning
Chris, you're
behind
Mountain
it.
View
saying
wasn't
at
even
73
a
goes from
thought in-
corridor to
Originally, it was.
Mountain
I'm
View.
saying
that
at Redwood.
Stood at the bottom of the foothill.
No, at Pioneer Crossing.
Oh, way up
Oh,
there.
way, all the,
I
No,
just-
but that's
all the
gonna,
front, those frontage roads are
That require a
way
resolution?
all the way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one frontage
What's
road
that?
system all the way through the
That need a
city.
resolution? Or is that?
So there'd be
So
a
your
pub-
desire is that we rename basically from 2100 down, all the way down,
All the way-
and basically
Redwood to Redwood.
to Pelican Point.
Well, it'd be from.
Right. That's what I was like, you suggested that, so I remember that.
Remember that?
We technically can't change the name north of 73.
Right. Well, it's already named Mountain View.
It's already named Mountain View there, so yeah,
But
anything
okay,
south there.
I guess, would that require a resolution,
mean-
or could they just take a vote now and we could go out there and?
No, it's not an item on the agenda,
Yeah,
so
I think we need
we'll
to,
bring
like,
it back
hold on,
to
I
you.
just think we need to, like, in our public materials and stuff, we need to start referring to it as something different.
Yeah, if you'd like us, I can bring
If
you
we
back.
could do that.
I can bring you back a resolution or something on a future agenda.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Then once that's voted on, we can,
Because then it's really,
it's very easy to go start
And-
changing road names.
And,
No, like Foothill, is that Salt Lake?
Okay, okay.
right,
What it is, we may not bring back a resolution.
Whatever. it
whatever
is.
the process is.
No, Shannon made it
But,
clear we can't.
to Michael's point, if you guys could also explore
Engine Way?
what the best naming structure would be for, I mean, we only have the two sides currently up by Harvest Hills.
we will, yeah.
But eventually, we're gonna have both frontage roads. And so, Michael brought up the point of, we wanna somehow differentiate east and west, or northbound, southbound, or something so that it.
Right.
Parkway East, Mountain View.
Right, whatever, if you guys could bring back some sort of naming scheme that will clarify
they
which,
do that in Salt Lake County where they got Mountain View corridor.
No, they just call it all Mountain View, but they do say the east and the west side. They do. They say, well, no, they say northbound, southbound.
northbound and
Northbound,
southbound, I think.
southbound.
But it's
So-
very confusing. If you ask Unified Police and Unified Fire, they're always confused on what side of the,
Right, so
to go.
work with police and fire to figure out what works
We'll-
best.
because they ask.
We'll
the
look
people-
towards Salt Lake County for that. So again, that should answer your questions about what all the bid alts are. Now, there may be other changes, so let's hypothetically say we can make some traction and solve more of the 800 West currently issues. We could look at those as change orders and other things, but again, those are not part of the current bid.
Does 800 West stay 800 West?
I would like to change the name.
Well, you'd have,
There's
It
like
would
two
be-
houses, and I
It would
think
be
they've already
Mountain
been
View
bought.
Corridor West or whatever we
well, the address grid would still be 800 West. So as you've seen, we do, what you do then is you put the road name on top and then you put the address.
Yes.
Right,
So it would
that's
always
fine.
be 800 West. It just would have the road
But
name on top of
the
it.
existing 800 West, so I'm clear, is the west side of that corridor, is the west frontage
Eventually,
road.
yeah,
Mountain View corridor.
A segment
Mountain
of it.
View Parkway West, that is the
Right.
west.
yeah.
Because the
Well, it
freeway goes
depends.
to the east and then,
It's the west side of the corridor
They're not gonna build into
From-
Sunrise Meadows, though.
from Marie Way North, but actually from Marie Way South, it
Oh,
actually
okay,
becomes
yeah.
the east side. There's that jog.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
We'll work on that.
Okay.
Any other questions about the particular
No.
contract before you tonight?
I agree with Wilden. It's now called Wilden's Way.
I suggested that, but he told me no
because he would.
at the police thing.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor, okay. I move to approve business item 1, Foothill Boulevard Extension, award of bid resolution R 2218 in the amount of $18,020,207.20.
I'll second.
I have a first from Councilman Carn, a second from Councilman Porter. Any further discussion?
I'd prefer 19 cents at the end.
I'm not going to change my motion.
Councilman McComber,
Aye.
Wilden.
Aye.
Carn,
Aye.
Porter.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. We have no need for closed session.
Kevin? Should we go into closed session? Yes, let's do it briefly.
I'll move,
Had to ask.
Second.
I'll move for closed session.
Second.
I got a first, I got a second. All in
around, Jeremy.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Am I voting?
What?
Closed
Motion
session.
passes.